everybody, and welcome back to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, episode 70. I think this might be the penultimate episode of the season. One more remaining, I think, which we'll have a wrap up after the Champions League final. There may be one thrown in between, depending on how many questions and stuff we have to answer. But obviously, it is getting to the wind down time now. Lots of similar teams, lots of similar moves. We don't want to keep going over the same stuff, but great to have you listening as usual. I'm Tony, and with me, same as every week, Ben. Are you there, Ben?
I'm here, mate. How are you?
All good, mate. And James, are you there?
Just about, Tony.
Just about. He was rough as I was last week. We've all made it. So, without delay, we'll jump straight into the teams. Ben, you're first up this week, mate. How's your team got on?
Yeah. Surprised me there.
Sorry, mate.
Right, 38 points this week. Nothing special. 2,615 points, which leaves me now 273rd. In goal, I got Mendy, 8 points, clean sheet. Robertson, 5 points. Cancelo, -1. Alexander-Arnold, man of the match, clean sheet, 13 points. Van Dijk, 5 points. De Bruyne, nil points. Mount, nil points. Diaz, nil points. Salah, nil points. Kane, with a penalty. And Mane, nil points.
Lucky penalty.
Definite penalty.
Ambo.
Bit harsh, that, I think.
No, it's Burnley, isn't it? Yeah, 38 points. I mean, I made that score look amazing. Obviously, having a busy weekend and this team not being high up on my priority list. Obviously, just playing around with my top 3 teams now. Ben, you nicely sent me a reminder that Havertz had to come out. So I duly took him out of one of my better sides. And I completely forgot that he was still sat in my podcast team.
8 points. That's shocking, Tony.
I wasn't going to say how many points. I wasn't even going to put the team up on screen. Just going to leave it out there this week. 8 points. Edison -1. Cancelo -1. Thiago Silva 5. Robertson 5. De Bruyne 0. Diaz 0. Mount 0. Sterling did not play. Another one I should have took out. Had ample opportunities, but yeah, I was just too busy this weekend for this team. But Salah, Mane 0. And Havertz is still there. Is he out for the rest of the season?
He just failed a fitness test for that game, so
He might be back.
Yeah,
he might be back for the last 2. We'll see. Over to your teams, James. I want to get off it mine as quickly as possible.
Before we go into my team, how many transfers you got left, Ben?
Oh yeah, I forgot to say. I sold Sterling on Saturday for Mount. He had a 2-for-1, and I just had a funny feeling he was going to get rotated on Sunday, and he did. Oh, he didn't even play, did he? He didn't come off the bench, Sterling.
No, he didn't. No, I wish. Go on.
Go on.
Go
on. Go on, mate.
No, I was going to say I wish I brought Maddison into my few teams.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah, I was looking at Maddison and Mount, and I thought Chelsea will beat Leicester on Thursday. So I thought, and I thought Chelsea's got a chance against Liverpool. So I thought Mount would probably outscore Maddison, but probably just because I'm a Leicester fan, I just thought, I'll go Mount.
Yeah,
should have really attacked that Watford fixture. I did in other teams, but I didn't with this team.
Yeah.
Mm.
I brought Maddison into one of the better sides, and it bumped me right up to from I think where was the last week, about 560 all the way up to 360.
Nice.
That's 200 place rise.
17 points did he get? He got, didn't he?
Yeah, really nice haul. That one transfer I did make. Right, go on, James. Sorry.
Yeah, So I got 30 points this week. All my points came from my defence. 8 from Mendy, 13 from Trent, -1 from Cancelo. Matip got 5, Robbo got 5. In midfield, Bilver, KDB, and Diaz got nothing. Up front, Salah, Lukaku, and Mane got nothing. When I saw Jota wasn't playing again, I just thought, I'm going to sort of hedge my bets a bit, and because I'm quite heavy Liverpool, I'll just stick Lukaku in because he's been in reasonable form in the last couple. And I hadn't used any transfers in this team yet, so I stuck him in as a punt, and he duly got me 0. So,
And Jota came on after like 30 minutes, didn't he?
oh, I know, I couldn't believe it. Salah bloody getting injured. I hope he's not out for long. It doesn't sound like he is, but I don't think he'll play. I don't think he'll play against Southampton. He might not even play the last game of the season. Hopefully, he'll be back for the Champions League final. But
Yeah.
I'm hearing it's not serious. From Klopp saying it's not a serious injury. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. See, I think a lot of people have done that Jota move. I did Jota to Mane, very sideways, and then like you see Jota come on after 30 minutes. Yeah, frustrating. But right, 30 points then. Happy days. 4 transfers left, James.
Yeah.
Right. Listener question time. Right. Mikey W has been on. I'm looking to take a few punts on the final game week. Outside of City and Liverpool, who are your top 2 punts for game week 37? James.
My top 2 punts are Sonny, who plays Norwich, and Vardy, who's at home to Southampton.
Yeah.
That Norwich fixture, I think, for Spurs, that they're still trying to get that 4th spot. Norwich are not great, are they? Let's be honest. Yeah, I'm going to go. I think Sonny's the number 1 pick, but Vardy seems to be doing all right. But keep an eye on the team sheets, obviously, because Rodgers has a habit of screwing us all over, doesn't
Yeah.
he?
That's one of the reasons why I didn't bring Vardy in this weekend, because I thought he might get rested in midweek.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd just try and get on the double game week players.
Yeah.
Back-to-back doubles for Vardy, in it?
It was last week, yeah. But you didn't... Hang on. I can't remember who played now.
Sorry. I mean, obviously, his last 2 games, he's scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Back-to-back
Oh,
braces.
right, yeah. Double game. Yeah, I was thinking double game weeks. Yeah, 2 braces.
Yeah.
You had a cheeky bet, didn't you, before the game?
Oh, yeah. I put Vardy on for the hat trick because basically Tony's got Vardy captain in FPL. And I just thought I'd soften the blow in case if he goes mad, and he wasn't far off getting the hat trick, was he?
Yeah, he got hooked,
I just
didn't he?
thought I'd sort of try and jinx, try and sort of hedge my bets, if you know what I mean.
Trying to jinx the captain.
Yeah, it didn't work, did it?
It's coming down to voodoo stuff and that now, isn't it? It's very, very close. I think it's that FPL league's going down to the last game of the season, definitely.
Yeah.
Who do you reckon then, Ben? A couple of punts?
Well, it's a bit boring, but I just think that Norwich fixture's just so good. Well, considering the way Tottenham's been playing lately, I just think Son and Kane are the main 2 targets for that game.
Yeah.
And then you could even punt on Vardy or Lukaku, who's got Watford. Watford look terrible, don't they? 5 goals again conceded today.
Mm.
They're just
I
dire.
think if Lukaku starts that game, he could make mincemeat of that back line. I've got that. Son, Kane, obviously the Spurs attacking that Norwich game, and the Chelsea boys, that Watford game. Some points on offer there, I guess. Yeah. decent options there for that last game of the season before the Champions League final. Right, next question, porn and poker. Listening to a few guests on TalkSport about Haaland, who says he's at the right club, but not sure with the right manager, as he seems to have issues with centre forwards. This is not my comments. What do you think, boys? I reckon, Ben. You heard any bit of this TalkSport and Haaland?
No, I haven't heard anything, but Haaland's an unbelievable player. I can't wait to see him play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He's got a touch of Zlatan about him for me, like a young Zlatan. 22 goals this season in 24 games. And he's got 86 goals in 89 games in his Dortmund career. He's got it all for me. He's got strength, speed, skill, score with his head, score with his both feet. I can't wait to see him play. I can't wait to see when Pep's trying to start rotating him and see what happens. Because he looks like a bit of a stroppy bugger. So I wonder how they'll get on. Surely he's got to play.
I don't think he'll get rotated, will he?
No.
I think he'll put him there through middle and then he'll rotate the two wingers around him, I guess. Just to second your comments, he's unbelievable, Haaland. He's gonna rip it up in Premier League. He's got everything. I don't think it matters who his manager is. If he's not getting on him with his manager, he's having issues at Dortmund. He's done all right, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's been struggling. I don't think it matters who's managing Haaland. I think he's just a player who's just going to do well wherever he is under what most circumstances. He might not score as many if they stick him at centre half, but that's about it. And to be fair, actually, City need a centre half, don't they? They're going to get a bit loose there. What do you reckon, James?
Well, I suppose when Pep arrived at City, I mean, do you remember Aguero looked like he might be on his way out? He wasn't playing him. There was talk that Aguero wasn't pressing high enough from the front, etc. So I think they're probably alluding to that. But the difference here is they've actually bought the guy. So surely Pep would have signed off on this deal.
Yeah.
And he's young. He's willing to learn. I don't know. They bought him on the cheap though, didn't they? So even if he doesn't work out, they can sell him the season after for massive profit because
double the money on him.
They're paying 60 million for him. They could probably nearly double that if they were to sell him on the season after. So it's almost like a no-brainer, isn't it? Really, if he doesn't work out, I'm sure he will because he's a talented guy. Clearly, scored hatfuls of goals in Germany. That doesn't always translate, but this guy's different. He's done it in Europe as well, hasn't he? So it's not like it's just in the German league.
Scored a hat-trick on his debut for Dortmund as well.
Yeah. So didn't Pep fall out with Zlatan at Barcelona?
Yeah.
As well.
One season he was there.
So I think that's where you know what, talk shite. I mean, talk sport. They like to put controversial things out there to kind of get. It's a bit clickbaity, isn't it? To sort of say these sort of things to get. And I used to listen to talk sport, but I'm just fed up with it now because it's just that Adrian Durham. He's the walking personification of clickbait.
Yeah.
I hate the guy because he just tweets these deliberately controversial views, and just to get clicks and likes, and everyone's like, "Oh no, you can't say that," and I just see straight through all that nonsense.
Yeah. He gets a lot of reactions to it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like Jason Cundy's jumping on that as well now lately.
Oh god, they're all the same. The only bit worth listening to is Alan Brazil.
Yeah,
and he's not even on every day.
Yeah,
definitely. Well, I think I read the question a little bit wrong, but so obviously they're teasing that Pep Guardiola is not the right manager for Haaland. I mean, yeah, crazy. one of the best managers of all time. Probably one of the most exciting young centre forwards there's been for a while. I think it's a match made in heaven. Yeah, right. DT Patrick, 2 questions, please. Who do you think Liverpool will sign to help bridge this small gap between themselves and City in the Premier League, especially now City have signed Haaland? So touch on that first. James, obviously,
Well,
being our resident Liverpool expert.
what gap, Patrick?
I know.
You know, there's still hope. Yeah, I don't know if Liverpool will sign up front. I don't think we'll be signing another forward unless Salah and Mane don't sign contract extensions or Firmino leaves. They were planning to buy Diaz this summer coming, but they moved early because they knew they would miss out on him because Spurs were going to buy him. So yeah, that turned out all right.
Yeah.
What a player! We've also got Fabio Carvalho coming from Fulham in the summer. I think he's only 18, so I think he can take Origi's spot in the squad. I think Minamino might leave as well. I wouldn't mind seeing a player like Bowen coming in. That's a Klopp type of signing. Somebody who's not considered by. He's not your Haaland type player, is
Yeah.
he? He's a bloody good player.
He nearly went to Liverpool, didn't he? Last summer, I think it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. We've been linked with him a lot. If I had to pick a player, that's definitely a Liverpool signing under Klopp. That is that type of player. I could see us trying to strengthen in midfield, though. Hendo, Milner, and Thiago aren't getting any younger. Keita's a bit hit and miss. Curtis Jones doesn't look like he's going to turn into a top draw midfielder. I think someone like Jude Bellingham could be a shrewd purchase.
It'll be a massive
Amazing.
He's come out this week and said he's not leaving Germany this summer.
Oh, is he? Oh, that's a shame.
So maybe next year. I think he might end up going in for Tillemans. He's only got a year left on his contract this summer. And
yeah, they have to sneak him a bit cheaper then, won't they?
Yeah, because I think you were linked with him before, but we were like overpricing him for anybody to be ever buy him. But now we think we bought him for 40 million. Now he's got 1 year contract. He probably, what's he going to go for, like 20, 30 million maybe?
Yeah, they'd probably take that.
Yeah, that would be it'd be a good buy. Trouble is, he's a bit injury prone, isn't he? We've already got plenty of injury prone midfielders.
But with your rotation in midfield, because you've got strong midfield now with Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago, and you've got a few other good midfielders on the fringes like Keita and Ox. But I'll probably miss somebody else out there. Harvey Elliott, who's going to be coming in next year.
Yeah.
I think he'll get rotated anyway if he comes in, but that. But yeah, it'd be a good addition. Like another number 6, a bit like Thiago, but he's got more of a if he plays in a 6 role, not a 6 role, like
an 8, you mean?
Box to box, an 8. He's got more chance of scoring goals than that. He's been playing a bit deeper lately because Ndidi's injured for Leicester, so he's been covering at the back, so. I
do think we need a number 8. I also think a number 6 backup for Fabinho is essential. We've been linked with Frankie de Jong. Apparently, Barcelona are ready to sell him, and of course they're desperate for cash, aren't they? So whether they want to deal with Liverpool or not, I don't know. After we fleeced them in the Coutinho deal,
he's just gone to Villa for 17 million, hasn't
he? Yeah,
crazy.
But De Jong could cover Fabinho and Thiago, I think. So I think that would be, I think that would be a good move.
I'd be all over Declan Rice, me. All over Declan Rice.
It'll be too expensive, won't he? That West Ham are talking 150 million, aren't they?
Oh, it's not worth that.
Man United might pay it.
Well, yeah.
I don't think Ten Hag will pay that.
No, I mean, would you want to go? I mean, they're going to be. They might be in the conference. Europa League. Don't know if they want to go. So he'll want to go, but we'll see. So the only other place I would strengthen would be right back because we need backup for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And it looks like we might be getting 18-year-old Calvin Ramsey, who plays for Aberdeen. £6 million, they're talking. 9 assists this season.
Is he a right back? Is he a right back?
He's a right back, and because he's young, he won't be expected to play every game because he's not going to play every game with if he's got Trent ahead of him.
That's the trouble if you're trying to court a right back, get someone into the club, somebody obviously that's played lots of games, experienced, somebody ready-made right back. They're not going to want to come to Liverpool, are they? Because they're never going to get a game.
It's like Spurs trying to get a backup for Harry Kane.
Yeah.
No one wants to do that, do they?
No. Unless they were willing to swap between playing a one up top and a 2 up top. And they were willing to change that. You're never going to get them. That's why they ended up with people like Vinicius and who were one before him.
Llorente
and yeah.
Soldado.
I don't know why it makes me go into a Scouse accent saying Soldado.
Soldado?
But yeah. Right, second part of the question. With Chelsea losing key players over the summer, United going through a major transition, can you guys see any challenge from any other team to the Pool and City dominance of the Premier League next season? Ben, what do you reckon, mate?
No. Can't see anybody challenging City and Liverpool for the top 2 places. I can see Spurs, if they can keep hold of the team and strengthen, they'll be a lot better next year. But I still don't think no challenge for the top place. And it'd be interesting to see how Ten Hag gets on at United. A big refresh there. And obviously you got Newcastle's going to spend some money, but I don't think they'll be up there. Not in the top 2 anyway. Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham, Leicester's going to have a big revamp in the summer. Villa want to be up there, don't they? There's loads of teams going to be not up the top, but I mean, it's going to be quite an entertaining season next year, I think.
Yeah, it should be. But like you said, them top 2 are probably going to stay the top 2, and everyone else is just not enough consistency amongst the other teams, the chasing pack. United have been absolutely awful all season. I don't believe they're in the position they're in. I think they're way higher than what they should be.
Yeah,
awful.
Made some good signings, didn't they, on paper in the summer?
Yeah, all United fans are getting excited, saying this is it, we're back, and all this, and it's just not happened again. And they're bringing in another manager now. Where is it going to work? I don't think it's guaranteed to work. He might be very good at his job tonight, but he's walking into an absolute shit show there. It's going to take years, honestly, a couple of years. Chelsea, what's going on with Abramovich and all that stuff and the ownership, obviously that's sorted. They've lost a few players, haven't they, for the contracts like Rudiger and stuff, but if they can invest over the summer, they're probably the most likely. And the Spurs are probably 4 or 5 players off, but they've got a decent nucleus, and obviously they can keep Conte happy, and they can invest in that team, keep the players that they've got now. I think they've got a chance of top 4 and maybe pushing City and Liverpool a little bit, but it takes an investment. Like I say, Levi don't like getting his wallet out, does he? So that's the test for them. Arsenal, again, hit and miss, aren't they? And then when you go below that, West Ham, Leicester, Wolves, even Villa, Everton, obviously they stay up. These are teams that have put big money about. Like, how much has Wolves spent? Villa. Everton has spent probably more than anybody, haven't they?
Oh yeah, Everton's net spend is ridiculous, and they've just wasted it. I mean, was it like 3 or 4 years ago? They bought like 4 when Koeman was there. They bought like 4 number 10s in one transfer window.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You don't need 4 number 10s. Disastrous.
You have all that money, and you get the transfers so wrong.
One of them's doing really well under Davy Klaasen's doing really well under Ten Hag at Ajax now.
Is he?
He's one of the Everton ones that didn't do well.
He barely got a game, did he? I mean, he's fighting against Rooney, wasn't he? And I can't remember the other guy
Sigurdsson.
before. Sigurdsson, I suppose. Yeah.
Sigurdsson.
Too many players fighting for a number 10 slot. Crazy.
Yeah. And then you got Newcastle, who are probably going to spend massive, but they'll find it probably just as difficult as City did early doors. To try and find that balance and stuff, but they'll obviously become a force in the next 4 or 5 years. I think it will be a good season. What do you reckon, James?
I think Spurs could be. I would say Spurs would be the only ones that I would back to potentially challenge, only because they've got Antonio Conte.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
He's different cat of fish, isn't he? He's a winner. Levy doesn't have the best record at splashing the cash, though, does he? He loves waiting till like the deadline day to see who he can buy for £3.50 and a packet of Quavers.
Yeah, who's on Whoopsie Owl?
If they back Conte, they 2 new fullbacks, a new central defender, midfielder, and they might challenge, but it's going to be tough. But yeah, with Conte there, I wouldn't write it off. United, forget it. Massive rebuilding job on their hands. Chelsea, I guess, like you said, it depends on who they buy in the summer. They've got a few players to replace, or maybe they could dip into their vast array of loanees.
Yeah.
They loan out about 30, 40 players, and half of them are decent, aren't they?
They've got a great youth system.
Gallagher's probably going to come back in the summer, isn't he?
Yeah.
They've sold a few. Livramento they sold.
Yeah.
Wasn't Guy was the Crystal Palace guy? Was he sold to Palace? Yeah.
I think Breuer's on loan, so he'll be back next year.
Yeah. But so no, they'll spend big, I'm sure, with the new owners. I don't think they're short of a few quid. Arsenal a bit too far off for my liking. They've got a load of they've got their squad's a bit thin at the moment, but then never know who they might buy in the summer. But they'd have to literally every purchase would have to hit the ground running, and I don't see that happening myself.
No.
Everyone was slagging Arsenal though off in the summer, weren't they? The amount of money they spent on like Ramsdale, Ben White, and others, but they actually come out. They've done all right from them, haven't they, this season?
Yeah. I slagged off the Ramsdale signing, and I think halfway through the season I did go back and say it's actually turned out a decent signing, Ramsdale.
I might have had a bit of a laugh at Arsenal's expense as well, but to be fair, those two guys have actually proved. I think they've proved their worth, and they've got potential, haven't they? They're still young.
Definitely. Yeah, impressive both of them. Right, now's Koopman. What about the ratings for the Liverpool players in the FA Cup final? VVD 6.4, Robbo 6.73, Diaz 6.55, Mane 6.26, and Alisson 6.8. Go on, James. Checking they're a fair assessment.
They don't seem right. They seem too low for my liking. I was going to make a joke about them not having enough work to do to get a high rating, but that would be doing Chelsea disservice because they played well. The Diaz rating is the one that gets me, not necessarily the defenders. Diaz, if you ask anyone who watched that game who man of the match was, it was clearly Diaz.
Yeah.
And did he even get a 7 rating? I'm not sure he did, which is a joke. Because
6.55.
He was the best. He was the best player on the pitch by a country mile, and I don't think anyone would disagree with that. I mean, crazy. It doesn't seem right. I think those ratings need to be whatever algorithm they're using needs to be adjusted because that doesn't seem right to me.
Did you see that Matip equalled Van Dijk's rating and he only played half an hour?
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Matip does spray balls around the pitch. do target him when he's in the box for corners and stuff. He is a bit of a rating darling, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Alisson saved a couple of penalties.
Yeah.
Only got a 6.8.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the ratings don't do anything in the penalties, do they? Penalty shootouts, it doesn't change the ratings. But
I
in
thought
the
we were supposed to.
in the Euros,
It did.
when the Euros was on, it did change the ratings. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Strange.
Well, that's the problem. There's no transparency behind the algorithm,
Yeah.
is there? So until they come out and tell us at least some of the story, then there's always going to be people going, hang on, this doesn't look right.
Yeah. I think, ultimately we're just going to roll with it until, like I said, they quite give us a clue. Be nice to have a clue. Yeah, some of them do seem... Diaz one, that stinks. I don't believe he didn't get a 7 rating. By far the best player on pitch. Again, I might add. Again. Right, Martin Beasley, will you have 11 Liverpool players by Champions League final day? And do you think it should be capped next season to 3 players per team? Ben?
I very much doubt I'll have 11 players. If I had the transfers, I'd probably have 10 players, and one of them probably be on the bench anyway. If you know what I mean, I'll probably
Yeah.
have the back four if I could have the back four. Then maybe Thiago, Diaz, and then you've got Jota, Salah, Mane, but probably one of them's between. I don't know. I don't know who's going to start in the final, but I would imagine Jota will be on the bench. So I just have him there in the team anyway. And then who else would you put in? Henderson or Fabinho? So no, I probably wouldn't. I probably won't be having 11. I'll probably be targeting like those games Chelsea's got or Spurs have got, like even Vardy. Looking at that, challenging the penultimate game of the season.
Yeah.
What about you, James?
Well, I would say if you target all 11, you're going to be disappointed because, like Ben was saying, there's not much upside from Liverpool's midfield apart from Diaz, really. Thiago at a stretch. You never know; somebody might kick off. I suppose if you've got the transfers to do it, then you could consider it. But I wouldn't be doing that. I agree with Ben. You should be using those transfers to target. Assuming you've got the key Liverpool assets, which is the defence, Diaz, and the three or four players up top. If you've got any transfers left after that, then you need to be targeting players that have got a favourable last fixture in that last game week. It doesn't make sense to be spending a transfer on Henderson, or some other Liverpool midfielder because they just
Yeah.
don't get the points.
Yeah, definitely. Worth using them and taking a punt on last Premier League game. The three players per team. Is that something you want to see? Probably make this.
No, well, leave it as it is. I think.
Yeah.
No, I like it the way it is now. Like, okay, this season Liverpool's the only team to get to the final, but it could have been the other way. We could have had West Ham, we could have had Leicester, we could have had Man City, all 4 teams in the finals. Last year we had United in the Europa League final, didn't we, as well? So it's just this season that's just looking a bit like, jump on Liverpool train now. But no, I like it the way it is. I don't like the 3-player rule. Go and play FPL.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Right, so on to Aaron Wade. Help. Your advice was sound the other week about holding for a week. I caught my rival who was 22 points clear to a very nice 41-point lead before this game week. It's swung in his favour so far. What to do? This is my team. 3 transfers and 1 million in the bank. There's your team for the people listening. Alisson, Trent, Robertson, Van Dijk, Bilver, De Bruyne, Diaz, Mount, Salah, Mane, Son. and his rivals' team is Alisson, Trent, Van Dijk, Cancelo, injured Diaz, Keita, De Bruyne, Bowen, Mane, Vardy, and Salah. Obviously, Bowen and Vardy having a very nice day today. So that's his side. He's 20 points off. Our input will help massively. What do you reckon, James?
Yeah, well, so this question came in before the hauls from Vardy and Bowen. So yeah, I imagine Aaron's squeaky bum time, isn't it? Because Mount didn't do anything, did he? Diaz didn't do anything. Yeah, so it's going to be a lot tighter now, isn't it? So there's I suppose there's two strategies. Would you consider blocking at this stage? I'm not sure I would. I mean, Vardy's had a plum fixture, hasn't he? For instance, so
Yeah.
I'd stick with Sonny. I think. I think if Salah's out, I would go for Kane against Norwich, and then I would also probably use the second transfer to bring Salah back for the Champions League, but obviously look at the team sheet, or Jota, for instance, if he starts, if Salah's not, if Salah's out for the Champions League. What else? That final transfer, I think you're already very heavy on Liverpool, so you're better off, like we said earlier, using the final transfer for a cheeky punt for the final game week. I think because it's got, assuming he uses one to bring back Salah, he's probably got most of the Liverpool bases covered. So I'd probably use the third final transfer for a cheeky punt on the last game week. What do you think, Ben?
I think first of all you got to you're going to have more players playing for the rest of this week. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players, probably 7. I don't think I'd be surprised if Vardy plays midweek, and you've got 8 players playing for the rest of the week. So then that might even it up a bit. You've got extra Liverpool defender as well, which is good, and you've got Son for that Norwich fixture, which is good as well. Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said about if Salah is out this weekend, come in, sell him to Kane, or you could go to, depending on how many points ahead you are, you could block him with Vardy, but and then on the Champions League, like you said, Champions League final, go to Salah or Jota, and yeah, I like that. Pretty much your team's really spot on, mate. Have a look after these games are finished in midweek and reassess. What do you think, Tone?
Yeah, just thinking exactly the same. Your team, Aaron, is set up much better than his. If you ask me now, from today, your team or his team, who's scoring most points, I'd say yours. I think having Diaz in there, it's a nice little differential to his. You've obviously got the extra Liverpool player. Son, I mean, in my case, I hope Vardy does play midweek, but if he doesn't, then you're putting him against Son. Fancy Son to get some. Obviously, he's going for golden boot, isn't he? So, yeah, the team set up well. You've got 3 transfers. You need to see what happens during this week. Hopefully, you finish on top. And then, if you've got a nice little, 10, 15, 20 point lead above him, obviously, we don't know how many transfers he's got. He might be out of transfers for all we know. Maybe a few little block moves or maximising a punt on if Salah's out to Kane and then back to Salah maybe for the final. Well, you're in a good position, really. You've been a little bit unfortunate. It's unfortunate the right word. I don't know. With Bowen and Vardy doing the business today.
Bowen was a shock, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot of people moved him on. He might not have been able to move him on. He might not have had the funds or It's one of them. It happens, doesn't it? It happens, and he's had a nice little day with Bowen and Vardy today. But hopefully it swings back in your favour in midweek. We'll assess it from next weekend then.
And he's got Keita in his midfield, so I won't be too worried about Keita.
Yeah, and injured Diaz. I mean, he's technically playing with 9 men though.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's spunked his transfers. Yeah, hopefully that helps, Aaron. Good luck, mate. Right, on to the differential league, which is obviously coming to a close at the end of this month. We've got a T-shirt, a lovely printed T-shirt to send out to the winner. The community went for Foden this month. He's got 11 points so far, which takes their total tally to 225. Fergie, he's going to need Jesus probably to catch now. He went with Jesus. He's got 5 points so far, which leaves him trailing 189. He's on, so he's 36 points behind. That's not going to be that's not catchable, is it? Really?
You never know.
That's tall order at this stage of the season with those players. Yeah, I think the community probably still have nailed that top spot.
Do you not fancy Jesus scoring over 4 goals in a game?
If Foden gets 2 red cards as well. Yeah. One of them. Diaz, for you, James. Got you 18 points. Highest score of the differential picks so far this month.
I'm not bottom anymore, yes.
We'll get to that. 152 for you. Laporte for you, Ben. 12 points. Steady away. 150 points, you're up to now. And I told myself all season it would never Timo time. I took a punt on him, and he's not been in the side since. I don't think has he played any minutes since I put him in?
He's come off the bench a couple of times, I think. But not a lot.
Nil point. Leaves me on 139 now. Bottom of the list.
So your Achilles heel, isn't he, Timo, really? After last season as well.
We're not mates now. That's it. I'll give him another chance. You should never go back, should you? That's what they say. But yeah. So we'll see who wins the T-shirt, obviously. We'll keep an eye on that. Right, on to the league tables. The Dream Team Tonic Cash Mini League top 10. James, would you like to have a run through that for us, mate?
Yeah, I guess I'm going to be reading this. Well, yeah, I'm nowhere near at the moment. I've dropped way off. Anyway, I'm not bitter. In 10th, in 10th and in 9th, we have Ben Mee.
Hey!
Well done, mate. In 8th, we've got Andrew Ferguson. 7th, Steve Legg. 6th, Alex Cole. 5th, Dan Sherwood. 4th, Michael White. 3rd, Heath Robson. 2nd, Kerry Jones. And at the top, Alex Cole. Looks like Alex Cole's is nailed the Cash League. I can't see him being caught now, really.
Yeah. Looks like he'll be getting the trophy, which has arrived. Looking likely. And a nice little cash win there.
Well done, Alex.
Right, onto the Patreon League. I've read this out from when it started all the way to now, so let's not change it. In 10th, Sean Siddall. In 9th, Andrew Barnett. In 8th, James Fricker.
Yee.
In 7th, Sam Course. 6th, Connor Tobin. 5th, Stephen Broughton. And in the prize places, 4th, David Dunkley. 3rd, Michael White. 2nd, Paul McNally. And top of the shop, in 1st, Ben Lee.
Woo! Come on.
Looks like there might be a trophy and a T-shirt heading your way.
Oh, I don't know. It's only 32 points. It's still catchable, I think. 1 hat-trick.
That's it, 1 hat-trick. Yeah, That's the leagues covered. What do you make of the FA Cup final, James?
Well, it's a rerun of the Carabao Cup final, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
0-0. I couldn't believe. I mean, both sides had some really good chances to nail that game. First 15 minutes,
Yeah.
we had a couple of good chances. We could have been 2-0 up. Then Chelsea found their feet. They got back into it. Yeah, I mean, I can't believe it went to extra time and penalties again. Nerve-wracking, to say the least. But, I can't believe Mane missed a penalty. He's normally pretty reliable. But obviously I'm happy to win it. Commiserations to Chelsea.
Hey, that was Senegal versus Senegal, wasn't it, when Mane missed that penalty?
Well, I did think that. As soon as he stepped up, he's playing against the guy that's going to know they must practice penalties for Senegal. He's going to know him inside out, isn't he?
Yeah, they would have been practicing during AFCON, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
We heard else on the Salah injury. Anything concrete? Just
Nothing
wait
concrete.
And see.
Klopp's saying it's not a serious injury. He didn't think it's a serious injury, so I think he said something like Salah's is more worse than Van Dijk's. I think Van Dijk's was just tiredness, muscle fatigue. So I don't think it's serious, but you never know, do you? Sometimes they do a scan off. They don't know initially, and then they do a scan, and it turns out to be like a grade 2 hamstring or something.
Yeah.
I'm feeling fairly confident to be back for the semi-final. I doubt he'll play against Southampton. He might not even play against on the last day of the season, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's going down?
Oh, tricky one, that, isn't it? Surely Everton are going to win their last home game. I mean, they threw it away today, didn't they? They looked right up for it, and then Braithwaite has a moment of madness, gets sent off. I do worry that they've got no central defenders left because Michael Keane's ill. Yerry Mina's out for the season. Godfrey probably won't play, apparently. He's only just come back from injury. So they're preying on Michael Keane getting over the shits, basically, so he can partner Holgate in defence and hope they don't get any more players sent off.
Who do you reckon, Ben?
Oh, it's tough. I have a feeling Leeds are going to go down.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Leeds are going to get the third spot.
Is it Leeds Brentford in it? Leeds Brentford last game, and Burnley. Burnley play. They've got 2 games left, haven't they? Burnley.
Yeah, they got
Burnley
Villa.
got Newcastle, haven't they? At home?
Yeah, Newcastle.
Villa and then Newcastle.
Everton's still got 2 fixtures, haven't they, to play? So you'd think they would pick up a point. Well, they need to beat Crystal Palace on Tuesday at home, don't they?
Yeah.
They don't want to be leaving it to Arsenal away on the last day of the season.
No. It's going to be interesting, that going down to the last day of the season. Nervy final day for those sets of fans. What happened to Schmeichel anyway? Not a good one for my FPL team. Absolutely nailed all season. Tony puts him in his FPL team. He gets dropped.
Hey, Tony, he's played 149 games in a row in the Premier League.
What?
149. On his 150th, he goes, no, you're not playing.
That's shocking. That makes it even worse.
He come out, didn't he? And he said that he wasn't meant to play against Norwich midweek. Ward was supposed to play that game and this game. Give him a few games. But Ward still was recovering from an injury midweek, so he didn't play that game. And he played today. So I wonder if he'll play against Chelsea midweek.
I hope so. If you got on your bench, Tony, for in FPL
I can't even spell his name.
I can't
I
even
can't,
pronounce his name
I
either.
can't tell you. And I think I had something like 1 million left over. I could have upgraded it, but
I don't even know what side he's from.
it's from
Arsenal, innit?
Arsenal. Yeah,
Arsenal, is it?
yeah,
A Conky or something.
yeah.
I've
Oh,
never even heard of him.
I put Pickford in goal this in my FPL team.
ah. So what did Pickford get today? 1 point.
Only a couple of points. I think he might have got a save point or something like that.
Yeah, did he? Yeah. Mm. Yeah, one of them. One of them. Spurs goal, penalty, not penalty.
Oh, harsh one that. I mean, did you see it? He had his arms out, but I don't. I just think he was just it's an
Balancing.
attacker trying to be a defender. You know, I don't think it was deliberate or anything.
It wasn't unnatural because it was obviously with the movement of his body and how he was shaping his body to like make the challenge or to make the clearance what he was trying to do. But he's stopped the ball going past him and his arms way out from his body. I
It
just
only
think,
skimmed him, didn't it? I think it's a little harsh, but the rules are the rules, I suppose. You could
yeah,
argue.
I think it'd been a big. If they hadn't to give it, if they hadn't to overturn it, it'd been a big surprise. Obviously, you don't really want to lose to goals like that, do you? But
Yeah.
I think they were camped in their own half, Burnley, weren't they? Straight away, first
So
whistle.
it was a pure rearguard action from Burnley. I watched the game, and literally it's 5 at the back. But they were doing they had this new guy, is it Collins, who came in.
Nathan
So
Collins.
they've got an injury, and he was immense.
Yeah.
His goal line clearances, they were playing really well. I felt a bit sorry for them, to be honest. I know you probably don't feel the same way, Tone.
No, no.
With your Blackburn roots and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Stop short of feeling any sense of sorrow for him. But yeah, it is unfortunate to lose to a goal like that. But yeah, one of them. There were a goal coming from what I seen the first half. They were lucky not to have conceded before that. West Ham City, bit of a surprise.
Yeah. Wouldn't have predicted that one.
Yeah, someone piped up a bit too early, didn't they, on the WhatsApp, hey James? When it was 2-0.
I'm forever blowing bubbles. Yeah, it was probably a bit too early for the voice text. But you know, there's still hope. Just a tiny glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
We need to beat Southampton on midweek, and then hope Steven Gerrard channels his inner Klopp against City on the final day, and they draw and we win both the next two. You know, it could happen. You never know.
You never know. You never know. Stranger things have happened than that.
It'd be interesting because obviously Villa love Jack Grealish, don't they? So, but then you got Gerrard who loves Liverpool. So, obviously you'd think they'd be professional, won't they, and try and win the game.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I mean, Villa didn't do us any favours when they came to Anfield for that game. So
no, I've been like with Villa as well. Over the last few games, I've been impressed with them. How actually up for it they are. They've delayed the trip to the beach, and Gerard's gone fired up for these games that really don't mean much.
Mm.
And he could have been in the Europa League final with Rangers.
He could. He could in a 2-team league. That's about all from us, isn't it? We're obviously it's getting a bit shorter as we get to the end of the season. Not as many questions and stuff to cover, but like I say, we might have a pod out next week. We're not too sure. It depends on what goes on and if there's stuff we have to cover. Other than that, we'll be back for the after the Champions League final for a wrap up. See how everyone's got on. If you do have questions, obviously, if you're in the Patreon, you're in the Discord group with us, so you've got access to ask us questions all the time. The DMs are open on Twitter. We'll try and get back in touch with you ASAP. And yeah, good luck to everyone who's fighting for the mini leagues and for the highest rank and stuff like that. Absolute pleasure. Good to have you listening. Cheers, lads.
Cheers, Tony.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks, everyone,
Cheers.
for listening.
Yep, cheers.